On September 10, Ethiopia announced the completion of the filling of the dam, which sparked an immediate condemnation from Cairo, which described the move as illegal. Egypt and Sudan consider the dam, which cost $4.2 billion, a threat to their water supply, and has repeatedly asked Addis Ababa to stop filling it until an agreement is reached on how to run it. The dam was at the heart of a regional conflict since Ethiopia began construction work in 2011, and Cairo considers it as an existential threat because it depends on the Nile River to secure 97% of its water needs. His country will be guided by the principle of the fair and reasonable use of the Nile River and will work to achieve friendly results regarding filling, employment and completion of construction, depending on the agreement to declare the principles signed between the three countries. The Ethiopian Foreign Ministry said, in its account on the X platform, that Ethiopia is committed to finding a woody negotiating solution within the current triple process. It is expected that the large electrical dam, which is 1.8 kilometers long and 145 meters high when operating at full capacity, will produce more than 5,000 megawatts, which would double the production of electricity in Ethiopia, which is currently providing it only to the half of the country's 120 million people. The United Nations estimates that water may be exhausted in Egypt by 2025, and that regions in Sudan, where disputes linked mainly to water supplies erupted, increasingly exposed to drought due to climate change. The Libya flooding disaster and the collapse of the Sidon in Derna raised concerns in Egypt and Sudan about the integrity of the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam and the risks of its collapse and the occurrence of the major catastrophe. A number of observers considered that such a scenario remains a similar and should be taken seriously, while others warned of a disaster similarity to Japan in 2011. In contrast, Ethiopian sources considered that the dam was safe and that there are attempts to demonize the Renaissance Dam project and Ethiopia. Dutch scientist Frank Hogritz's expectations via the X platform on Twitter a few days ago, with earthquakes in 6 countries after the Moroccan earthquake, saying, "Today, 2 planets are converging with Mercury in Al-Zahra, and on September 6, another rapprochement occurred with Mercury in Al-Zahra." The Dutch scientist expects strong earthquakes and expects strong earthquakes, after he warned 2 weeks ago that an earthquake may exceed 8 degrees on the Richter scale, due to what he called the lineup between the Earth and the planets of Mars and Neptune, which caused the occurrence of the ground slowly between Mars and Neptune planets. The Dutch scientist emphasized that lunar engineering with Mars and Neptune planets can lead to a strong earthquake. 6 countries facing the same fate of the Moroccan earthquake, especially the region west of Portugal, predicts an earthquake in Egypt and the Arab countries, and the Dutch scientist expected earthquakes, saying, "There is a seismic activity, where it can be located in Lebanon." And Frank Hogritz previously said that an earthquake is also expected in Egypt, Lebanon and Iran if it will happen next week or in the next 5 and 10 years.